Welcome, welcome. Let's talk it out. Welcome, everyone. So we're back here. It's me, Francesca, Lisa, and we have a special guest tonight, Riccardo Simanella.
Sì.
È qua con noi, so we're very happy. Thank you for following us and for keep continuing sustaining this great podcast and also our twin podcast session with staff, and also special thanks to our sponsor, c'est les traiteurs Bon Appétit in Sauvé.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and you guys really have to check this out because these people are amazing. They can cook the best thing for you, so whatever are your needs, you just need to give them a call, just talk with them. They're super beautiful and amazing people, and they will find a solution for every necessity you might have. The food is fantastic, and they always treat us so well.
Yeah, it's true.
And I can
It's
wait
totally
every
true.
time. I can wait for Sundays when we shoot
Yeah,
for
it is true.
Lipovare to get their lunch. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, really.
Yes, amazing.
So we are here and we're gonna talk about health. We're gonna talk about body. We're gonna talk about like perception of the body and how you guys are feeling with yourself. And we have definitely the right person to do that.
That's right.
Oh yes, actually, we Riccardo is a fitness coach. I have to. It's a long list. He does so much.
So much.
So I had to write it on paper.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Keep it short. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
There's no need to make it complicated.
There you go. So fitness coach, strength and conditioning specialist. I need that. I need to be honest.
I think most people do.
Works as an online coach and the founder of Quasar
Fitness. That's
So
right.
guys, check this out. You're gonna have to listen. I know they're gonna be listening anyways because they love us. But you guys, you have to check out this podcast because there's a lot of informative stuff for men and women and children and maybe animals. Who knows? So we can get right down to it. I am really hot, by the way. The lights are really hot.
Yeah, and also we had a little help. I like with some drinks, which
Yeah.
like it's summer, so what's up?
Yes.
This is water, so
It's water. It's not
That's
pure
what
I'm
they
vodka.
good.
say.
Not pure vodka. No worries.
Yeah. So let's get right down into
do
it
it.
and let's talk it out.
Yeah.
Okay. So Riccardo, as a health coach, what are your key strategies towards helping your clients achieve a better change? And what does this better mean to you?
Okay, that's a great question. So, number one, I treat all of my clients as individuals as they are. I don't know anything about them as I meet them. These are things that I'm going to learn as I start doing tests, as I make them answer certain questionnaires, as we do evaluations, and I'm very keen on all of those details because every single person is going to provide to you different muscle tightnesses, issues, digestive problems, which, by the way, most people are dealing with digestive issues. I can't think of any of my recent clients that don't have any sort of digestive problems or function that needs to be improved in some way, in some capacity. So, how am I going to help these people is, number one, I got to figure out as much as I can about them as possible. And I think that's like the main thing that's missing from what I see in most gyms. It's normally you get a client, it's like, all right, like, do you have any injuries? No. Okay, let's get right to it. There's a leg press, there's a bar, like, let's start lifting. Back up. There's a lot more you got to ask and figure out about your client before you can actually even build them a program.
Okay.
So what are some of the measures that I like to take that are really important? Well, blood pressure. Like, a lot of people don't even take their own blood pressure, and I find that like this is your heart. Like, this is one of the most important organs in your body, and most people don't really know much about it other than that one time a year or 2 times a year that they'll go to the doctor and take their blood pressure. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So that's one of the first measures I take. That's actually like,
I'm gonna go home now.
no, but it's true. Like,
It is true. Yeah.
it's like it's 6 years now that like I have my own blood pressure device, and look, I'm 29. I bought it when I was like 23, 22, 23, and most people are like, why would you take your blood pressure at that age? Because it's my heart. Like, I need to know how my heart's functioning if I'm gonna know like how well my body's going to be adapting to what I'm doing. So blood pressure, I want to know their heart rate. I want to know another measure. Not many people know about this, but it's their heart rate variability. Okay, so we can maybe go into that later. We don't really have to, but it's just like certain biomarkers that are really important that tell me, okay, how is this person dealing with stress in their lives? How is their heart functioning? And like, therefore, what's the approach I'm going to take with them? You know?
I'm gonna fail every one of these tests.
Yeah, no, but you know what? Most people do.
Me, it's like tired, awake. No, I'm gonna go to bed. It's good for the heart.
Yeah. You know, like I've had clients come in like, oh, I'm so excited for my new like training regime with weights, like weightlifting, and it's like, wait, hold on a second, like let's test it. And I test them, and lo and behold, they're at like stage 2 hypertension, which is something like 140 over 90, you know, like blood pressure, right? You don't want to be anywhere over even 130 over 80. Like that's starting to pose a problem depending who you are, depending what you do, right? So in that specific case, like think about it, right? If your blood pressure is already elevated to that point and your trainer's making you do the leg press, what do you think's actually happening, right? The pressure, like what is blood pressure? You have like 140 over 90. Like what's the 140? The 140 is like in your arteries, right? You have like blood kind of coursing through, right? So during a pump of blood, when there's actually blood flowing through that artery, there's going to be more pressure against that wall, 140. In between pumps, it's like less pressure against that wall, 90. That's like that's what those numbers mean, right? Now, if it's elevated to that point, and then you have your client doing something like a squat or a deadlift, where there's so much pressure, like to anyone who's listening audio only, like what you don't see me doing is like bracing my body at full capacity because I'm lifting 400 pounds or I'm pushing 500 pounds on the leg press. Like, guess what? Like that pressure is being pushed against your body. Now your arteries and the blood pressure in that moment could even exceed over 200 over whatever.
Ooh.
It's like
it's very risky.
You're asking for serious injury or risk of heart attack or hypertension, any type of issue with hypertension with a client, that you can't do that. So if you're a trainer and you're not taking your client's blood pressure, that's a problem. That's number one. Number two.
That's, by the way, I'm just like amazing. And that's props to you because it does put everything into perspective. Hey, like I know how to use my phone. I know how to send 7 emails at the same time. I know how to do all kinds. And you brought up the thing about it's your heart. And I wouldn't even know how to take my own pressure, right? Yeah. And it's perspective. Like what's important? It's your fucking heart.
Yeah.
It's the thing that keeps you alive, you know?
Yeah.
That's, wow, it's interesting. Anyway, sorry, go on.
No, and it's just like, look, you have people that they look at the activity that they expect to do in order to get results. So it's like, hey, I'm going to just like go to the gym. It's like, hey, but what's your goal? I want to like lose fat and I want to feel better. So like right away, it's just let's go to the gym. Okay, but let's talk about nutrition. No, I don't want to talk about nutrition.
I need to eat my poutine Friday at 3 in the morning. Come on.
It's going to help with the pressure.
For sure. And then I know we're getting a bit off topic in terms of the question. Yeah, it's just like kind of combo,
Well, it's good, but it's important.
But that's what happens. You get people where it's like they don't want to discuss nutrition, and it's like because deep down, like it's like that one thing that they kind of self-medicate with. Yeah. It's like I gotta like no, and you know what? I'm sorry. Women is the worst for this, okay? Now, mind you, the clients that I'm working with, I will tell you right now, they're doing really well. Even women, when it comes to changing their diets, usually it's like the hardest thing to do. It's like, okay, what are you eating for breakfast? Nothing. It's like, okay, that's like not the best thing, Like let's try. What about even like a shake? Like let's not even talk about solid food. Let's just go with a shake for now, And it's like, oh no, I can't have a shake. Like I'm not even hungry in the morning. Hey, how come you're not hungry in the morning? Right? No, this is like 80% of people, right?
Yeah,
it's like everyone's dysfunctional, and that's the problem, and no one realizes it.
I knew it! I knew it all along!
Yeah, no, it's
You're
crazy.
Dysfunctional, Manny!
I don't have breakfast too. I fast because I have my dinner at 7 and then I don't eat up until noon.
Yeah.
Because I do fasting, so I wait and I do workout in the morning, empty stomach, so this allow my metabolism to grow. Maybe I don't know. That's what I read because now I have the expert.
It's a lot more nuanced than that. Like definitely speaking, and I can't even give you an answer because, and I love it. Like people say, like, hey, can I eat this right now? It's like I don't know what else you ate that day. I don't know what you ate in the week. I don't know if it makes sense for you to eat that. And like that's why I took my job, which was. Like normally I was doing my work on not online but in person. Like I was a trainer at a gym. Like you pay me for my hour. Like I give you an excellent training session. You leave the gym, you're like, wow, that was amazing. Then you go home and your life's in shambles. Like you don't know how to deal with your stress. You don't know how to drink enough water in your day. You're eating whatever, and you're like, hey, how come I'm not getting results? It's like, well, if you're not
replace the water with vodka, and then it deals with the stress, right?
There's always Bloody Mary, by the way. It's healthy. There's tomato.
It's vegetable.
It's a vegetable.
Exactly.
Just couple it with a pizza.
So I'm having black cherry. I'm having antioxidants.
It's all natural.
Berries.
Oh boy.
The vodka too came from a plant, so I mean the wine also from grapes.
Grapes.
You know what?
It's good for the skin.
Guys, cocaine came from a plant.
So
wow. There you go.
Hey,
So did marijuana.
How natural is weed, right?
Guys, plutonium came from the ground. Just saying.
Just saying.
Try sniffing that.
Yeah.
And so did my third eyeball.
Yeah, that's it, exactly.
Sorry, we totally
No,
took you off topic.
that's the fun part of it, you know?
So
yeah,
you were training, because your story, we cut it off.
That's fine, whatever, let's do this.
Yeah, because you were training in a gym and then you...
Oh, yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
So, that's it. Like, people leave and they have a good training. But the thing is, the rest of their lives, which if you see me, let's say you see me 3 times a week, which is less people do that, right? Because let's be honest, personal training, it's a luxury. Like, you go to a third world country and it's like, hey, can I be your coach? You'd be like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm trying to find like a morsel of food in this garbage can. So, like,
so true.
yeah, for sure. It's like, this is a luxury in the Western world and like certain parts of Europe that like you can get a personal trainer. You know what I mean? So,
Funny, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So let's just say you hire a trainer for 3 days and 3 days, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, whatever. So it's an hour, 3 hours, right? But how many hours are there in a week? Do you really think that 1 hour or rather the 3 hours in the how many hours are in the week?
Too many.
Like I'm not even.
I work 40.
24 times 7, 20 times 7,
that kind of
280.
thing.
A lot of hours. Okay.
Big week.
Let's not count them.
Yeah.
And I complain for 30 minutes. Okay, go on.
No, but that's it. So your 3 hours of training, we might help postural issues. We might help like, you have some tightness on your hips and weakness in your glutes and they're inactive because you sit like 19 hours a day, like shit like that. Shit? Can I say shit?
Yes, of course.
But if you go home and then you yell at your spouse because you're mad that they didn't clean that the dog shat on the carpet, and then you're like, oh, I'm so mad, and then you eat your pasta and you're like, I'm having another plate, just fuck this shit, and that doesn't make sense. Like, you're not gonna lose fat that way. It doesn't work. You have to have a full life approach. Full. It has to come from everywhere. And it doesn't mean that you have to do everything all at once. It doesn't mean like your nutrition has to be perfect week 1. Your training has to be perfect week 1. Like, I have to know how to deal and have outlets of stress week 1. Like, that's not how that works, right? It's small steps. Like, okay, I don't train at all. All right. Do you go for walks? Nothing. I do nothing. Okay, let's go for a walk. Let's do the bare minimum of human function first. And then like once you do that consistently, like let's start adding on like extra complication, if you want to call it that.
It's like a diet too, right?
Do you meet lots of people like that don't even go for a walk? Is it common in your experience?
You know what? I'm gonna say no. Yeah, people at least go for walks. I will say that. Like, should I be proud of that? Like, not
I don't
really.
think the guys. I don't think that people that don't go for walks would actually call a life.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Nutrition coach, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want some dude to tell me to go for a walk.
Yeah, and like I screen people before I work with them. Like, honestly, I don't want to work with people who are like, yeah, I'll do it. No. Like, if you're in it, it's because you recognize that there's something in your life that is just not working. Like, you're 45, you're overweight, you're unhappy, you have no energy, you don't know what you're doing when it comes to food, you have no recipes, all you do is eat out, you don't know how to train, you're super tight, your back hurts. Like,
we have to stop this because we just met and you know my whole fucking life. How did you get that, man?
People tell me all the time, hey, you want me to say a paragraph where...
You're a musician, it doesn't count.
That's
Okay,
it.
cool.
You're
Artists are
You're
not
exempt.
artists are not included in this.
That's it.
This is another.
Yeah. So you were touching on the fact that like you don't have breakfast, right?
Yeah.
Now you said that you eat at 7. That's a normal time to eat. Like, that's totally fine. You know, if that fits your lifestyle and you're eating enough in the day, that's not really a problem. Like, that's totally fine. But what happens to a lot of people, and mind you, I was in this boat for maybe, I don't know, a few months, and it kind of sucks, and I'll explain it, and you'll know what I'm talking about, is you don't have breakfast, okay? So let me start there. You wake up, you don't have breakfast. You eat maybe at like, I don't know, 11 or 12, let's just say. So you eat at 11, 12. Then, you know, you're hungry 4 hours later, maybe you have a snack, maybe you have like half a meal because you're busy work, whatever it is, you eat at like 4 o'clock. And then you eat again, it's supper time. 7:30, 8, you eat your meal, not a problem, okay? But then what? Then you're like, oh, it's 10, 11. You're like, oh shit, I'm kind of, oof, that Nutella's looking really good up there, you know?
I don't need Nutella, but even not.
Yeah,
Okay, go on.
yeah, whatever. It could be whatever it is, like your favorite, whatever it is, you know? And you go in your pantry and you just start rating it. So you end up binging like really, really hard.
Binging is
With
a
an
real
alcoholic
problem.
beverage.
Oh, it's even worse. Yeah,
Like I said, you know my life.
With a bloody scissor.
yeah, but it's worse because now your inhibitions are down the tubes. So it's like you don't even care. You're eating it. You're like, screw myself.
You're a fucking
I don't
psychologist
care.
as well.
That's
you know
me. That's me. I feel
You're in my head,
after
man.
class.
He's a food shrink.
You're in my head.
Yeah, but the secret might be not to buy, not to purchase. I don't have anything that is
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
like crazy.
That helps. What are you
Yeah.
gonna do? Leave the house at 11 to buy a jar?
Exactly.
Of,
but
yeah,
here
it
is
doesn't
not
make
buying
sense.
it.
I don't know. It
do,
depends
but
how
here
bad
no.
the volition
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
So I don't have anything very risky.
Yeah.
Well, I have a dad down the street. That's the
besides
problem.
the wine and something, but I'm not gonna come before going to bed. I'm not gonna have a shot of vodka. So.
Yeah, that makes sense, right?
Too
Really?
bad.
No.
It's too bad.
You
should try it.
It does
You'll
work.
sleep a lot better.
Oh man. So like look, if you're binging at night, like what's first of all, when it's happening, and I don't know if you guys have ever done it. I've done it. Like and my excuse was, yeah, but bro, I want to build muscle, right? But at the end of the day, that's not how you do it, right? So I did it for 3 months and I'm like, man, I just feel like shit. So something has to change. Anyways, that's another story. So what happened is you binge. It's like 12. I don't know. Maybe it's 1. Maybe it's 3 because you're playing like, I don't know, League of Legends or some video game or something. I don't know. And then you wake up and you're like, I don't feel that good. This is weird.
Yeah. This is
Like
weird.
it's a surprise to
The
you,
2 Big
right?
Macs has nothing to do
Yeah,
with
you have so much brain fog. You see the clouds. You're like, what? What is that? You know? So you wake up. You're like tripping over yourself because you have like the worst energy ever. You go to the toilet and you pure diarrhea all over the place. Like, I'm sorry.
Or not.
I'm
or
sorry.
Oh God,
Just
nothing comes out.
Or constipated.
Or rapid
Yeah,
bullets.
yeah. It could be constipation, but usually from experience, not of myself, but with people I'm dealing with.
Well, I
it's
can tell you. I can
diarrhea.
tell you it's diuretic.
Yeah.
Honey.
Guys, I
Yeah.
would change
And if you
subject
like
then.
spicy, it's whatever.
Oh, it's a painful
It
painful
heats up,
experience.
man.
Yeah, it wakes you up. The brain fog is gone.
Yeah.
You know. Where's the toilet paper?
Where's the toilet paper? Because fire is coming out of your ass. That's what it is.
Where's the hose?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a serious
The
program.
bidet.
this.
Where's the bidet? That's what I was
the
gonna
bidet?
say.
Guys, this was a serious
I
moment.
You
know.
know?
It is, but it's for your benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it's funny, but like when it's happening in the moment, like it sucks. You have a whole day of work ahead of you. It's like
It's
I don't know.
terrible,
It's like 7:30, and like man, like I had diarrhea. I have brain fog. Like I don't feel good.
That's 24/7.
Yeah. No, but then what happens? Like I'm not hungry because my stomach hurts. Then
Yes.
and then hold on, right?
True.
Then what happens? You skip breakfast, and guess what? We just repeated that cycle.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're right.
True.
No wonder.
Get out of that cycle. Like get out of that cycle. Admit that there's fault somewhere in the way you
That's
live.
That's the first thing. And you're
Yeah,
right
for
about
sure.
it.
You have to just be like, look, man, something's wrong. Like something has to give. Like if I don't change, like nothing's gonna change.
How's your
right?
schedule this week? Just ask.
Ask him for a friend.
I mean,
Ask him for a friend.
okay.
Yeah, that's it. So you gotta you gotta. Okay, let's. What is it? What's going on, Lisa?
It's
I'm in
Why are you
mortal
laughing?
peril from what you're saying. I'm gonna die tomorrow.
Your blood pressure's elevated. Your back is hurting you.
I just finished physio. Never
If I'm
mind.
malaquam.
Yeah.
No, but okay, I have to be honest. In the middle of the night, I do get up. Like I nap.
Yeah.
And I get up and I am hungry. But I have a banana, and I read bananas are good
Banana's
to eat.
okay.
And that
banana's good.
and a tablespoon of peanut butter.
But wait, hold on. You're saying in the middle of the night?
And yeah, like when I get hungry, because I get cravings.
Hold on, wait, pause. What time is it here? Not now, but when
Wee
you're.
hours of the morning.
It's
around
3
2.
a.m. and you're like, it's time for a banana and peanut butter?
Maybe.
No, it's time for sleep.
Yeah.
It is.
That doesn't make any
But if I
sense.
wake up because the dog kicks my face, I'm awake.
Nah, you close the door.
No, but I mean, let's say, for example, hypothetically, I go down and I
He's
take
asking for a friend
I'm asking
again.
for my neighbor. You know, my mother likes to eat in the middle of the night too. So let's say, for example, I have like a banana or a half
Genetic
a
thing.
banana. So wait. Yeah. Is that?
Well, I think what he's
Yeah.
looking at is the banana's not the issue. It's you should be sleeping at
Yeah,
that
come
time.
on. You
I
gotta be
know, but
sleeping.
sometimes, well, I know I am sleeping, but let's say, for example, like I,
You know
I
what?
toss, I turn.
I'm
Get
gonna
out of it.
pause you right now and like this is what I'm noticing the more that I work with people, especially that I'm online.
Yeah.
Again, right? When I'm in person, I see you for the hour, we have a good training, and it's sayonara. That's it. I don't know anything. Sometimes I'll try, like, let's talk about nutrition 10 minutes, and they're like, yeah. And then they go home and it's just whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I move. I'm like, man, I'm doing all these courses. I'm learning from like the smartest coaches in the world. Literally, these people, they're speaking and gold is pouring out of their mouth. I'm just there like, oh my god. So I'm learning from them, and they're geniuses. And I want to apply this information. Like I want to apply it, but in person I can't. Because if I do it, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna give you 30 minutes of a consult of your life that you're not even gonna follow through anyway, and then I'm gonna give you 30 minutes of training, which usually is not that much. It's just like, So I'm giving you half-ass of this and half-ass of that. So I made that decision. I'm like, look, if I'm gonna train people, it's gonna be a training. That's what they're paying me for. That's what I'm gonna give them. And it's not fruitful. It's not. Especially with everything I knew I had in my brain. I'm like, fuck, I'm using like 10% of what I know. I hate this. Yeah. And I went online, and now I know everything. I know everything that my clients are doing right now. I spoke to all my clients today. All of them. Wow. Okay? Every single day. Whether it's text or it's notes on what they're eating, notes on their training, or just because, you know what, I just felt like I wanted to talk to them. I'll give them a call. Hey, when are you available? Let's chat. And that way I know so much about what they're doing that I can have control over it. I can say, hey, you know what, let's not eat that anymore. Clearly it's bothering you. Or film your squat. I want to see how you're doing it, and then I'll give you feedback based on all that, right? Yeah. What's my point here?
Well, it's very interesting. That,
yeah.
No, your point, I mean, how you got into
what you do
and how you do it, right?
Yeah.
But also probably about the fact that it's not just a random advice, but
it's totally specific. Like it's incredibly specific.
That's why you're following them more now.
Yeah,
like to know what they do throughout their path in their day.
Yeah, and it ties in with the fact that like I'm never guessing. Like I'm done. Not in the past, like not that you're guessing. If I'm training them, I've already tested them and whatnot. But when it comes to everything else, like it's like, hey, maybe try eating this. I don't know. But now there's no guessing anymore. I don't guess. It's just I'm dealing with people's lives. Like, you know what? This is what I hate about this industry. I know it's not even part of these questions or whatever.
It's okay.
But
You're
like,
creating them.
I have to get this off my chest because it infuriates me. Right? Who's regulating this industry?
Zero.
No one. So you have like some random person who lost like 30 pounds and now they're a trainer. you have some guy who's like, I got some pipes, and now you're a coach, now you're a trainer because you have some muscle. Do you recognize the significance of dealing with people's lives? And it's like, but I'm just making them go on the leg press. What if he has high blood pressure? But I'm making him go keto or making her go keto. What if her life is incredibly stressed and she needs those carbs to function? Because guess what? Your brain uses glucose, carbs, as a main source of fuel. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like there's so many things that are so nuanced and specific that this whole like unspecific training bullshit, it doesn't work. So people are like, but it's $40 an hour. Yeah, and you're destroying yourself for $40 an hour. So congratulations, you're saving what? What are you saving?
You don't save
You're screwing yourself. You're stepping on the rake and it's hitting you off the head. It doesn't make sense.
But this is true because I remember like just to give an idea, no? I was like I was in Los Angeles, so when I was like at home we had like a gym in the building, so I was doing lots of gym, but I was putting lots of too much muscle. I gained like 2 sizes just here because I was doing lots of squats stuff, so it was all of that. So when I was kind of depressed because I was doing that to lose weight, not to get it. It was it was muscle, but still it was big. Yeah. So I went to a trainer in Italy and I told him like I want to lose muscle, and this guy was telling me it's impossible. Like now you cannot do it anymore. And then I was like, what are you talking about? Like besides the fact that we have obvious example of actors that gain in muscles a lot and then they lose very rapidly. Of course, this is very rapidly, so I believe you don't recommend. But this was so crazy. So this guy was like, and his idea was, you eating a lot. And I said, no, well, actually, because I'm doing wrong exercise. So it's not just like nutrition, like lots of people don't even know what works for your body type in terms of muscle.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like not everybody put the same amount of muscles in, I believe, no? I mean,
for sure.
For my personal experience.
Yeah.
I started running like endurance. And in endurance, I lost like lots of how do you say?
It could even be some muscle, mind you.
Muscles or stuff.
Yeah.
So this, for example, just to say, and I found this very, very difficult to find a trainer that knows what works for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting back to what you were
Yeah.
saying before, that not everything is the same for everybody.
Yeah, definitely. Especially like if you look at bone structure and you look at hip structure, you'll come to realize that like look, I love squats. I really do love squats. Does everyone have to squat? Like, not really. You don't really have to squat. I mean, there's other exercises that can build your legs, build your glutes, and whatever it is. However, in life, we tend to squat just in our daily lives, right? Like even picking something up properly doesn't mean you have to perfect squat to pick something up. It doesn't make sense. You can bow over to pick something up, and ideally you're not going to break your back. But it's still it's like a primitive movement that's like ingrained in our DNA to me. Like I love the squat. I'm like passionate about the squat. Okay, it's kind of dumb, but that's when you talk to people who are coaches, they're gonna be stupid in some way. I love squats. They just feel great. So my point here is that hip structure is completely it's dependent on the person. You're gonna have some people with like deeper hip sockets, so like the way their femur kind of like locks into their hip joint, while like it's deeper in because their hip joint kind of wraps over around their femur. So if their femur is like that much deeper in, like when they go to squat and their knee comes, let's say that's their knee, right? When they come up, like it's gonna start like rubbing. So for them, like they can't squat that low. So you have to find a way to make them squat that's safe and that's not gonna be like, it kind of feels off here, you know? I test for that. Like these are things that it's not even that difficult to test for, but nobody does it because no one knows. Number one, because they don't educate. Because I don't want to spend money on education. I don't want to spend money on education.
That's
So there's that.
And it's funny how you say it. Like, you know, we're putting a price on certain things. You were saying $40 an hour. It's your life. It's
It's not
the
even that
longevity.
much, honestly.
Besides the
No,
longevity.
but for
It's a cell phone bill.
the example with 40 is that like it isn't that much, but like you're probably getting shit quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
like
why
I
I
don't
like-
charge 40. Like I definitely don't charge 40 an
I'm
hour.
happy you don't.
Mind you, I barely do any in person anymore because I'm trying to really focus on my online. But if like for the clients I do come in person, like it's not 40. Like I know my value, I know my worth, and it's
That's
not 40.
good, actually.
Yeah.
But, and it's funny. It's the same like with music, right? Like some people say,
Yeah.
I don't want to pay for the lessons because it costs $30-$40 an hour, whatever it is. And it's like, but what it's adding, even if it's not to be a musician, it's not, but it adds something to the brain.
Totally.
It's studied, It's the knowledge is there and the science is there. Why wouldn't you spend it? Right?
Yeah.
And there's so many things, but yet that extra 5 gig of data for $20 more a month will
Yeah,
pay,
it's easy, right?
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
Let's get a bottle of wine. It's 120.
Right? Yeah. Netflix and whatever Prime and whatever
Yeah.
new streaming service will pay $100 for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all part of the same problem. It's like, look, as a coach who, in my opinion, I feel like I've spent a lot on education, and it's not even enough in my opinion. Like I don't want to brag about clients or I want to brag about how much I'm investing in myself. Like that's something that's always been really important for me. Okay, and from doing this, I started out like I think I did my first course at like 20 or 21 or something. And it was expensive. Like it was like, I don't know, a third of my whole bank, like just gone in a weekend, or rather it was a full week. It was like a full 5-day thing, But like people aren't comfortable with investing in themselves. It's not a natural thing. It's like, what do you mean? Like, how can I do that? Like, it doesn't make sense. Well, what do you mean? Like, you have this one body, you have this one brain that you're going to have for the rest of your life. If you're not investing in it now, like when is it going to be worth it? Like when you're 70?
Yeah.
Like when is the point at which it becomes a good idea? And it doesn't even have to be in coaching. It could be in anything you want.
Yeah.
Right? If it's something that's ideally good for you, right? Don't invest in a meth laboratory, right?
Maybe no, it's not very.
Like,
kind
be
of
profitable,
illegal.
but-
That's it.
Yeah.
Very risky.
Yeah.
Very
A
risky.
little risky.
High risk, but good profit.
Yeah.
So it's just tied to the whole thing of like people are afraid to trust and believe in themselves. So you get people who unfortunately they never make it to a point like, look, if you're 40 and you're making like $20 an hour, $15 an hour, it's like you know what, that probably started at an early age of not having the confidence of like, you know what, I'm worth more than this. Let me build myself up. Like let me create a human who in the future is going to be valued more than currently am right now.
Yeah.
No one has that mentality, and it's really sad.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with that. I
Yeah.
would agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Well, I won't say no one because you don't have that mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
fine.
So
I'm trying to share it. I'm like, hey, it's
Yeah.
good to do these things. You feel
Yeah.
good about it, and it kind of promotes other well-being in your life. Do it. You know, and the people that do it, it's like, oh my god, for sure, I'm gonna do that.
yeah.
Like, all the clients I have, like, look, when I went online, like, at a certain point, you have to understand, like, I have to be a salesman to an extent, right?
Yeah,
but I
for
try
sure.
not to be salesy because I'm not. It's not me. Like, I just want people to freaking feel better. And like, when I get a text or when I look at my check-ins and I see that, oh my god, I haven't had diarrhea in a week, and oh my god, my energy's so much better, and oh wow, I'm actually losing weight. All these good things, like, that's like the best feeling ever. Like,
Yeah.
I need that for my life. I can't exist without that anymore. It's just now it's too late.
Yeah.
I can't be another person now. I can't just pick up a guitar. Now I'm gonna just quit and play guitar. No. Like, I have to be a coach because I need to help people. But I still have to sell because that's what it is.
Yeah.
But the people who are currently my clients, I barely had to say anything. They're like, I just want to do this. I just like, let's do this right now. I barely had to, I said 10 words. We had a phone call, 2 phone calls. Here's the price. Let's go. We're starting. And then we had a full week of intake where we do the physical evaluation and all that stuff. And they were in. And it was like, I didn't have to do anything. You know, so now I recognize that if I feel like I'm coming across like I have to really make a sale or something, it's fine. It's not worth it. Like, look, take your time. You're not ready. That's fine. Maybe you will be in the future. Come see me and maybe it'll still work. And if not, like, I hope that you can solve your problems on your own. But from what I see, you probably won't. Like, it's sad. It's sad.
But what would be like the first best practical advice you could give someone to start to change their life?
Okay, what if we say this, okay? What if there's like fundamentals that come with being alive that we must respect first before we have to go into further complication, right? Like, before I say how many sets are you doing on your first exercise of the day, before we even get to that, like, what are the prerequisites for being alive, right? So let's try and get like
Breathing.
Yeah, no. You know
Air.
what? That sounds sarcastic, but you touched on a whole topic. Breathing. What's this breathing through my mouth thing? People do that all the time. Mouth breathing. They sleep breathing through their mouth all the time. When you breathe through your mouth, there's a whole cascade of events that unfolds from doing so, and it's not a good cascade of events. It's a negative one. There's less oxygen.
I'm gonna go home now.
Yeah, no, like,
No, I'm sorry.
no, but so
I wanna hear
perfectly.
this.
So breathe properly. Like, before you eat your food, are you stressed? Are you panicked? Are you standing up? Are you telling your body that in a way there's danger or there's a stress? Well, you shouldn't be eating, right? So sit down, close your eyes.
Yeah, okay. I already had 4 gulps of food in that time.
That's my point.
Me too. I just like grab.
Yeah,
It's called affamata. I don't know.
but don't get to that point. That's your fault.
I know. Oh, it is. 100%. No, it is. I know it.
Like, don't. Anyway. So
You're right.
deep breathe. Like, take 10 deep breaths. Right. Take 10 deep breaths. Eat your food. Just be calm. Like, if it takes you 5 minutes to eat your pasta or your supper, whatever it is, like, that doesn't make sense. And then if you say, oh, my stomach kind of bothers me and I had diarrhea, I'm constipated. Well, let's look at the digestion process. Like, where does digestion start? It starts by chewing, right? Like, saliva will actively start breaking down fats, carbs, right? So it starts at the mouth. So you got to start eating better. And then once you start eating better, let's go for a walk. You know, how many steps a week should we be aiming for? Well, if we look at the history of being human, all we did was walk. Like, walking was ingrained. Like, I'm sure that ancient humans would walk easily 100,000 steps a week. Like, without even question. Like, a baby would walk that to catch up with the crowd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's get 50,000. Can you get half of that in a week? 50K steps? It's not that bad. It's not. So that
Feel
would
better
be
now.
How much is in kilometers?
50,000 in kilometers. How about this? Instead of saying it that way, I'll say it this way. Every 10 minutes, you walk about 1,000 steps.
Oh shoot!
How much is 1,000 steps? In terms of
You have
meters.
to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
1,000
6.
steps, I would say 3 steps is a
In distance.
foot, maybe?
Depends on your stride length.
Yeah, that's it. It's true.
And actually, if you find it hard to fit in your
let's
steps
say
in a
30
week, you could
minutes.
do a little jog. You can go on a treadmill. It's not the end. Like, people are like, treadmills
Yeah.
are the worst thing ever. It's like,
I
no, they're
have my
not.
treadmill
Oh,
here.
well, hang on. I do the elliptical.
That's fine. Whatever.
Is that better than the treadmill, or just the same, or just as effective?
Is it better? It depends. If you have like achy knees and achy hips, it could be better. But don't overcomplicate it. And that's another thing, is like people are looking to find like the most optimal way of doing everything, and like you're not even eating right. Can you at least do that first?
Yeah.
It's okay. This is not my metaphor. It's one of my mentors, Luke Lehman. Okay, so Luke, if you're listening to this, like you said this, okay?
Okay.
Luke, listen to
yeah,
this.
like Luke's a genius. I absolutely love this guy. So when you have a sculptor, right? And mind you, I don't know if Luke came up with this, but Luke said this, okay? So if you have a sculptor and he has like he wants to build like a sculpt, like the David
Statue of David,
right? I'm not an artist connoisseur, clearly. It's not. I don't care.
You're a Donatello.
Yeah. So he goes, like, what happens first, right? It's like, well, first they're gonna dynamite the cave or whatever
The marble.
yeah, they're gonna dynamite it to get like these big chunks of marble, right? And then it's like, okay, now let's get a more defined piece of marble. Like, let's make it like, I don't know, 10 by 8 or something. So then they kind of chisel it a little bit more. And now it's like, okay, let's make like a head and the arms, and kind of, so you kind of break it down and you break it down until you get like more fine, and you kind of break it down more fine. It's the same concept. You want to start with like, what's the lowest hanging fruit? Like, what's the easiest thing I could do right now for the most potential, right? If it's walking, man, just start walking.
Drinking water.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you stole it from my lips. Drink enough water. There's people that drink like less than a liter a day. That is chronic dehydration. It is no wonder why you're constipated. It is no wonder why you have no energy, and it's no wonder why you're having trouble with fat loss. If you can at least drink water, which by the way is free, you just gotta lift a knob and then open your mouth and swallow, then I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. It doesn't make sense. Like, drink some water, you know? So get your 50K steps a week. Drink enough water. Okay, so how much water is enough water, right? Everyone's gonna ask that. So yeah, a good value to hit is take your weight in pounds, divide it by 2, have that in ounces. Okay, so for example, I weigh like 190, so half of 190 is 85.
85, yeah.
Okay, so 85 ounces in liters is something like 2.8 liters. So I usually get 3 liters. I'm not gonna say 2.8. I don't care. It's 3 liters, right? So I have my 1 liter water bottle. I have it 3 times in the day, and I'm good. Like, I'm hydrated and I feel great. You know what I mean? That's easy. That doesn't cost you $20 for a 1 liter water bottle just to keep track, and you don't even have to do that. So that's like step 1. So drink enough water, go for your walks. This dog is really cute.
She's the mascot.
Yeah,
Olivia Bast.
And then, like, okay, let's say, you know, sleep. Like, what's sleep? People are like, yeah, no, I run on 5 hours. You know, like I run on 5 hours. Not really. What's happening is your sleep is so bad. It's so like not enough quantity of it that you're running on adrenaline. Okay. But the thing is like, and here's where it gets a little more complicated, and I'm not going to try and complicate it on purpose, but to some extent I want people to understand some of this, so I'm going to go into some detail. So adrenaline, you need another ingredient to make adrenaline, and you need dopamine. Okay, so you need dopamine to make adrenaline, right? And in doing so, right, when you're constantly in an adrenaline state, which by the way, when you're stressed, adrenaline will be elevated. So cortisol, which is the main stress hormone, you have noradrenaline and adrenaline. There's like the 3, they kind of work together, but they're very much related, right? So if you're stressed, you're gonna have more adrenaline, but like to make that adrenaline, you require dopamine, right? Which is why when you have like a moment of like crazy stress, like, oh my God, like I don't know, let's say it's like an hour of like insane stress. What happens like an hour after that? You're lethargic. You're just done. You're just like, man, I have no energy. Like, I'm so done. That's because you're dopamine depleted. You just used up the already low amounts of dopamine that you have, because all we do all day is we're on our screens, and we're trying to get ourselves excited by everything we're doing. So our dopamine is always elevated. And then we're not sensitive to it anymore. We're just using it up, and then it's just a whole host of brain problems, neurotransmitter issues that people also have to work on. 100%. And it's not that it has to get complicated. Like, oh my God, and he's talking about neurotransmitters. Like, I'm gonna skip this podcast. It's too just sleep more, and it's gonna start regulating itself. Just drink more water. It's gonna eat more protein. Guess what? How do you make hormones? How do you make neurotransmitters? Like, you need ingredients for those things. Most of those ingredients are amino acids. or at least a good amount of them. So if you're not getting enough protein, you're not making enough neurotransmitters, you're not making enough serotonin, you can't calm your body down, you're always in a stress state. You're eating like shit. It's just compounded from everything. Like let's look at life like a big circle, right? So you have like finances, social life, like movement quality, you know, like hydration, like you have all of these like whatever.
Spokes.
Yeah, you have
Yeah,
like
yeah.
these spokes of life, and like you analyze someone's life and it's like stressed, not bad, stressed. and then they come to you like, hey, I want to lose 30 pounds, like I want to go to the gym and like do the leg press. It's like, yo, you are like 45 steps before that.
Yeah.
You
Start
understand?
by sleeping, then we'll talk in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But you're right. And the beauty is all the complicated jumbo stuff that you're saying, which is amazing. We come to you to break it down, and you break it down quite beautifully by saying sleep more.
Yeah.
Next step.
Yeah, like
better.
I'll take the science and I'll be like, hey, I don't really
Yeah.
need to know the science.
You break it down. You're
Yeah.
Google fuck.
Yeah, I try.
But
You
it's
know what?
great. No, but it's
Yeah.
good that it can be that simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like as a musician, people say, I want to play guitar. I'm sorry, I can't break it down to simplicity. I mean, my breaking it down would be practice every day for 2 hours.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah,
you
right.
know?
Yeah.
But it's more than that. You can just change someone's life by, hey, that's 6 hours,
Yeah.
make it 8, and make it a comfortable sleep.
Yeah.
By breathing through your nose, and you're good. You know? That's already a big step.
Yeah.
And it's good that you can do that. It's amazing.
Yeah, like look, my wife sometimes like she'll breathe with her mouth open, and like, you know, she'll wake up, she's like, I'm kind of like, I'm still tired, you know, like what's going on? I'm like, you know what, let's try mouth tape. Like, just screw it. It's like $10 on Amazon or $15. I don't even care. Like, that's the thing. I don't care. It's $100. I'll buy it. I don't care about price anymore. If it's gonna help me, it's here. Buy. Okay. So it's
Me
$15.
with bags.
Yeah.
Buy shoes. Buy.
Oh my god. Okay, but for me,
it's gonna help me.
for me, it's something that's gonna benefit me at least. You
Yeah,
know?
he's gonna put weights in the bag.
Shoes are gonna benefit you.
Mentally, right?
Yeah.
I get it. So we bought mouth tape, and she tried it out, and like the next day she's like, wow, I actually like, I feel better. Like she slept soundly. Like it's like it's tape. It's literally mouth tape. It's like an X, and you just kind of put it over your lips. Look,
We're going in a
man.
lot of directions.
Yeah, no, for sure. But
Insert here. What?
you know what? It's like, you want actionable advice. You sleep like shit, and you can't breathe, and you're always snoring. Like, maybe you'll need a CPAP machine. Like, mind you, if you're
True,
if you're overweight, like, yeah, you probably
It
are.
changed my friend's life. One of those machines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
come
Changes
on,
life.
you need it at a certain point. If you're suffering from that, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But and luckily here you can get tested for that. So, and
Yeah,
it's like
it's
free. You might remember, there's like a waiting list, but whatever.
What?
At least do it. If you have
Sleep apnea.
if you have
Sleep
sleep apnea
apnea.
and you're snoring and you're like
Constantly.
skipping beats, and it's not good. Like, that's not normal. You're not breathing properly, you're not sleeping properly, therefore your body's not like restoring itself properly. So like, all your training is in vain, all your nutrition is in vain, because you're not digesting properly, you're not restoring function to your gut. Like, you need to sleep. It's like the king of anti-inflammation. You can take all the pills you want and all this curcumin and whatever extract bullshit, and it's not even bullshit. It's good. You could take it if you want to, but if you're not sleeping, then that doesn't make any sense. Like, you can't put a band-aid by slapping fucking turmeric on it. Sorry for the swearing, but it's just it
love it.
really
And I hate
just
turmeric.
it bugs me. No, I have some. Like, honestly, in my kitchen, I love it. I'll show clients, like, I'll lift my my cupboard. That's like a upward folding, and it's just supplements everywhere. But I don't use them all. I use them when I need them. Like, I have activated charcoal if my stomach's hurting and I need something to kind of like absorb that and get that out. You know, I have something to, like, if I'm constipated, which I'm never constipated. I have something if I have diarrhea. I never have diarrhea. Like, I don't deal with these things because it's my 10 years of my life I've been taking care of my body.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel great all the time. I'm not even trying to brag. I'm saying this because the potential is there to live a life where you wake up and you're just amazing. You're just like, I'm good. Like, what do you want to do? I'm good.
I definitely want to do this podcast when you're 45, though. I'm just curiosity
that's
to
fine.
see the difference. No, because obviously there are the superhuman athletes that are still playing at 45.
Yeah.
But I mean, age does play a factor. But being a personal trainer, that is the right time to see someone, because. Okay, 29, you're you're fucking young, bro. You know, but
No, I hear you. I get it. I mean, I can't change my age.
no. It's fantastic, because
You're gonna
when you're
change
Going
it.
upwards, yeah.
when you're 45, you're gonna probably feel like the average 30-year-old,
Yeah, there you go.
which is fantastic.
Actually, even that's not good, because the average 30-year-old, I'm not impressed. I'm really not impressed. And it's funny, I spoke to a client about this literally this afternoon. don't compare yourself to the average person, because the average person, right, is 60% is overweight and obese in Canada. And so if you're comparing yourself to the average, like, you're doing yourself a disservice. Like, you're
Look
comparing
at the
yourself to the
Italians in
average.
Italy, so this is good. The
Yeah,
average
like,
person in Italy is
totally.
kind of okay.
Yeah, like, definitely do not compare yourself to the average, unless the average is substantially better than your position. But if that's the case, like, you need help. Like, you know, people love sugarcoating their issues and their problems, but like, if you're like, okay, go on Google and type in BMI Calculator. Okay, put in your height, put in your weight, and look at that number. If it's over 30, there's a problem. If it's over 40, it's like, it's now you gotta hire someone.
I feel so much better right now.
Okay.
I feel so much better because that's the only good thing I have is the BMI. My doctor told me. Thank God.
Yeah, like, at least that, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just to say, like, it's people just wait and they wait and life goes by and they're just like floating around like a piece of dust. Like, nothing changes, nothing. 10 years later, same shit, same problem. It's like, what's it gonna take? And you know what it's gonna take? It's gonna take you to get some type of mortal disease. You're gonna get cancer, and now suddenly you're gonna change because you have cancer. What are you telling everyone around you? What are you telling yourself? That you have to wait until it's the worst possible scenario before you make a change?
But that's what it takes. You know, that's quitting smoking, quitting anything, any vice.
Yeah.
That's what it takes. You have to, not have to, but people hit rock bottom
Yeah.
before they start the change process, because they don't see it when they're in it, but when they're in the rock bottom, then that's when they say,
gravity hits.
I don't want to be here
Yeah.
anymore. If I'm a gambler and I'm at the bottom of the barrel right now,
Yeah.
this feeling sucks.
Yeah, it totally sucks,
And
for sure.
I'm never going to do it again. And smoking is the same thing, or whatever the vice might be,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I find that it's just a shame. Like, it
You're
just
right,
sucks that it has to
100%.
get, like, I don't know if it's the human psyche and like
But
whatever.
I think part of it is our education too.
Oh yeah, oh my goodness.
Our education is so antiquated. It's old. We don't learn in school. I mean, my son's in high school and so is my daughter, but it's like, I see what they're learning, and it's like, at one point are you going to learn body fitness,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
taxes? Like, who cares about the square root of the triangle of this, of that?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
that, I don't want to say who cares, because it develops the brain and I'm not against it.
Yeah.
But bring in some of the courses that are practical, like
Yeah.
what you're saying, you know, sleeping right.
Yeah.
Eating right. It's your body. These are important elements that
Totally.
if people would learn more about it in school, as opposed to, I don't want to talk about religion, but as opposed to something that we're going in depth in high school, that it's good for the brain, but it's not practical. Yeah.
It's gonna be annoying for listeners. I'm just saying.
Well, there's whatever. I'm gonna have fun editing this.
Yeah, that's why.
Editing the sound.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Yeah.
Sorry, doggy.
She's not
Okay.
near a mic.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay, good.
Sorry. Yeah. That
Yeah.
was.
No, you're right. I
anyway,
mean, sorry. No, go ahead.
No, I mean you're 100% right. A lot of people don't know this, and it's part of education, and
Yeah.
it's part of parenting as well.
I say this all the time. It's like, look, do you learn nutrition and training in school? Not training in the sense of squats or whatever. I mean, it would be great if they was, but just movement, just do something. You learn. Are you taught this? Like, very little, right? You go to gym class and you're like rolling on a stupid board. I remember the dumbest stuff we did in elementary school. Like, what's the point? Anyways, so you're not taught nutrition from anyone, and then, you know, your parents are supposed to teach it to you, but where did your parents learn this? Oh, they didn't, right?
Yeah.
And then we go back to the fact that most of North America is overweight or obese. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it has to start with when they're young. Like, you have to educate. And, you know, I have a client, and he's finished his 6 months with me, and he's gonna take a year. Okay, he's like one of my biggest fans. Like, he graduated.
He's second to me, by the way. Just FYI.
He literally graduated. Like, I can't say graduated in any sense, but in the sense that he lost the weight he wanted to lose. He looks fantastic. And now he's like, man, I want to put on muscle. Like, he's at the point where, like, fat loss is done. Like, he did it.
Yeah.
Now it's let's put on muscle. And every now and then we'll do like 3-4 weeks of lowering some fat if you gain some, and build up some muscle. And he has 3 kids. And what's one of the things he told me straight up, he's like, man, you know, I really want to do this for them, and I want them to start eating better, right? So there's this one day where he writes to me, and he sends me pictures all the time of his food. I love it, honestly. So he sends me a picture and a story, and he goes, my kid wanted to eat what I was eating for breakfast.
Oh, nice.
And it made my whole day.
And like you were saying, parenting is a part of it, but not preaching it,
Yeah.
living it.
Yeah, you got to live it.
You gotta live it.
They're looking at you
You
24/7.
can't preach don't smoke if you're a smoker. I mean,
Yeah.
the children at that age growing up,
Yeah, they're sponges.
Yeah.
they're sponges. They learn what they live, not what you tell them.
Yeah.
What they live. you know, and it's important because a lot of parents will say, oh, you got to work hard, you got to study hard, but then they're not doing the same thing.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know? Like,
exactly.
you
Or
gotta
like-
it's about living it. And,
Yeah, definitely. And
you know, if
nutrition
I'm
plays
gonna
a
eat
huge
4
role.
chocolates and tell you not to eat chocolate because it's bad for you, I'm not really accomplishing much, right?
No, not at all.
The child's gonna say, you know,
What's good for the goose is good for the
yeah,
gander.
Yeah.
exactly. Sorry.
And then what about like the whole prevalence of ADD and ADHD in children, right?
Yeah.
But like, you look at the kid, right? You look at what they're eating. I'm not gonna just say it's only nutrition. I'm really not gonna say that. I understand that a lot of these cases are truly genetic and there's truly something wrong. Not saying wrong, but there's something abnormal with the brain in whatever way. Okay, fine, right? But a lot of these cases, you know, you look at what the kid's eating and it's like, what do they eat for supper? Like hot dogs. It's like, what do they have for breakfast? Like cereal or Nutella sandwiches. Yeah, but they're kids, right? It's just a kid. Doesn't matter. It's just a kid. Excuse me.
Was eating pizza
Th-
with
th-
prosciutto.
this kid is a growing, it's a growing human. If anything, it's the adult. Who cares? He's an adult. He's done growing. But it's a child. Their brain is developing. All of the cells in their bodies are understanding the food, the interplay between the food and how it plays a role. It's really complicated stuff.
Of course.
You know? So if you're feeding your kid garbage and you're wondering why they have no focus in school, you know, I mean, yes, of course you have to, you know, and talk to them and what's going on and understand and guide, but like you gotta feed your kids some nutrition.
100%. Yeah.
This is true, but I want to say something because I think here there's a very much pretty much attention on this ACD. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
In Italy, in Europe, no one actually, people like kids are distracted at school, and it's just because they're kids that are
Yeah,
distracted at
yeah.
school. Like,
Exactly.
I mean, I think this is a way here of labeling things, but it's true also that in Europe, at least in Italy, I used to eat differently. So my nonna was doing me la pizza al fornaio with prosciutto, and I mean there was always meat and other stuff,
Getting your
extra
protein
virgin
in.
olive oil, sometimes Nutella, but I didn't like. So I mean, I
Yeah,
was
but even
like
even
it.
Nutella, like let me make it straight, right? Like you're
like
having
it's
you're having a
equilibrium.
drink. Yeah, but exactly, it's like it doesn't mean these things are bad.
Like
for you,
of
but,
course,
like,
if I drink 7 of this every
Yeah.
day, it might be.
yeah.
The changes thing.
But you know, like
Exactly.
it could be a pleasure. Like vices, but besides smoking, there are some vices that are bad overall. But like you know, a good glass of wine. No, like everybody said. Well, I don't know. We say no, un bicchiere di vino al giorno
Sì.
fa bene because it has actually it's very good. The red wine for blood and stuff.
Yeah,
so,
there's
I mean,
there's some benefits. That's totally fine.
so I mean, of course, if you drink 10 every day,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
alcoholic.
Yeah.
So it's really about equilibrium. I think that what is difficult now, and it relies to connected to what you were saying before. People just like they don't have equilibrium in their life, and they just want to go straight away finding a solution
Yeah.
without before finding equilibrium.
Yeah.
What it works for their also body type, their type of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody as the same, you know. My diet is not probably working for you or for someone else.
Yeah.
And also, like I think also finding the right type of diet for the right lifestyle is also challenging for coaches and trainers,
Yeah.
like just to know.
Yeah, if you know some metrics, it could be easier to kind of figure out what makes more sense. But yeah, sometimes you got to try some things, you know, like you got to be.
What are the questions that you ask first your clients when you evaluate them?
A lot of it is about digestion. So like, foul smelling stool, undigested food in stool, bloating and digestion. A lot of stuff with the
Yeah.
gut because it's
all about
critical.
the
Like,
gut.
like look, think about it, right? You're eating food, right? And people say you are what you eat, right?
Yeah.
But like that's actually not how that works, right? So it's a lot more complicated and nuanced, like most things are in life. It's like, you go to a brain surgeon and you're like, yeah, just cut the head and you cut the cancer out and he's good. It's like, he's going to be like, are you insane? You know how complicated this is? It's nuanced, right? The same thing with food and digestion. It's like first of all, okay, you eat it, if you're chewing enough, right, it goes down to your stomach. Now you have certain organs that are going to secrete enough enzymes and bile and all of these things that are going to help break down that food. Then it travels into the small intestine, large intestine, but the walls of your intestines have call it holes, okay, very small holes, mind you, But what happens there is that the nutrients, right, the small molecules that they are now, because after digestion, right, everything you eat becomes small. They become small enough that they can pass through.
Yeah.
And your body absorbs the nutrition. Amazing. But guess what? Most people, that's not how it works, because they're so stressed and they eat like shit and they don't know how to move, and all these things compound and it affects their intestines, right? So now the holes that were once small enough to allow only certain molecules through, now these holes are bigger, and like food, like undigested food is passing through it. And now your body sees that as like an inflammatory response. You are what you eat, you are what you digest. Okay? So if you can't digest your food, you're looking over months, right? Over months, not in a day or two, but over months or years, usually it's years, you can get nutrient deficiencies. Right? You can be eating all the broccoli you want, but if you're not absorbing and assimilating those nutrients, what does that mean? Who cares, right? So a lot of it has to do with the gut. I mean, when it comes to physicality, I mean, I ask them some questions, but I ask them when I'm in person. Like I have an in-person evaluation, so they come over. I have my massage table too. I have all my testing. That's where I do the blood pressure. I give them a device that they can take home as well, and I ask them to take it this many times. It's not blood pressure, it's something else. And I get all of these numbers, right? I remember I don't like guessing, because guessing, how's your diet? Pretty good. Oh, amazing. Was pretty good. Like, I gotta know what you're eating. You know, I've had people tell me in the questionnaire, you know, like, how many times do you eat vegetables? Every meal. Every meal. A full week, I saw lettuce.
Oh my
once.
goodness.
So, you know, questions are good, but at the end of the day, proof is in the pudding. Like, I want to see this, right? So that's why I don't guess. I want to see it all, because I want to have control, and that's just how it works, right? So some of the questions I might ask her, yeah, like I said, so on the gut, some of the questions are going to be on, you know, yeah, you have any injuries or anything I should know about? Do you take any type of medication? Who do you live with, right? I have some clients that are my age or younger, and they still live with their parents, and you think like, oh, what does that matter? Oh yeah, you know what? Well, guess what? Parents love to just buy whatever they want to buy. And when you're someone who's trying to lose weight, and you know that you open the pantry and there's all kinds of junk in there, it's hard. Like, it's more challenging. So I know that when someone says, yes, I still live with my parents, you know, I have a conversation with them. I go, okay, like, you understand it's going to be a little more challenging now, because you're going to be enticed by eating all of these foods, right? So they understand it, and some of them they're good, they're okay, and some of
like
them
those Sunday mornings when I used to wake up at 11 being hungover, but I smelled the sauce cooking from 8
my
o'clock
God,
in the
that
morning.
was so
That plate of pasta was double.
yeah. Imagine you're stressed out and you smash like 150 grams of carbs. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's after the 14
150,
grappas.
250, 300
yeah,
too.
I know, seriously. Not of pasta, of carbs, of the final carbohydrate.
Ah, okay.
Trust me, 150 grams of carbs, good luck. That's really a lot. Unless you're just drinking pure maple syrup.
Oh,
I don't like maple syrup.
We're not friends.
I love.
really
That's the
don't.
problem. I love sweet.
No, I
Maple
don't like
syrup,
sweets.
honey.
Oh,
Honey, yes, but honey is good.
I love that.
I know it's bad. It's like you see it, and it's like.
Honey is actually good. I mean, depending on the quantities, but honey is good.
Yeah, totally.
It's better than sugar. I don't have sugar at all.
No, I
It's
don't
more
have
or less the same
sugar.
shit.
I just like douse the honey in my my coffee.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Okay.
That is the worst ever.
See?
I've done maple syrup in coffee.
Me too.
Like a
It's
teaspoon, like a
it's
teaspoon.
good, but it's good.
What's a teaspoon?
But it's
you
not
don't even
coffee.
notice.
It's not coffee.
It is coffee. It's a flavored coffee.
It's
Was
not
it too?
coffee.
I can't. It's a flavored coffee.
People are like, it's black or nothing. I'm like, I don't care. I don't
No, I
really
like
care what
sugar.
you think about me. I'm just gonna have what I
Yeah,
want.
I love it. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. But before, because I see the clock is going down, we're almost done already. See, I
No,
told
we
you.
know.
We have a
way.
bit more
Yeah,
time. We have a bit more.
I told you it
And
goes
we have
fast.
time to do
We have about
the-
10 minutes.
So we can do the.
Yeah, we will. But I want to get one question. It's very important. Why the name Quasar?
Why the name
All right.
Quasar?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So,
She wants to.
She likes it.
She wants to.
Olivia,
So-
why?
So look, okay, I love fitness, I love health. Like, I'm very passionate about it,
Yeah.
and I will be forever. And that's just, I don't have to force it. It's natural. Like, what's a best day for me? Oh my God, my best day is when I'm on the computer and I have a course running and I'm just listening and I'm taking notes. It's just so calming, and I get to learn. And a lot of time it's from Luke, because Luke's a genius. But anyway, not only from Luke, but Luke is like up there. What was I saying? So I love health, I love fitness, but there's another passion that I have that I'm really, really passionate about, and it's anything to do with universe and space and stars and physics of stars and all of that stuff. Okay, so I had this idea. It's probably 3-4 years old. Okay, but when I had the idea, look, I thought it was like I was kind of shy. No, I'm not shy. I don't care. I really don't care. It's just the easiest thing is I don't give a shit what people think anymore. I'm just gonna speak, and if you like me.
If you don't,
if you don't, it's fine. I don't care because I have people that like me. That's enough. So I really love that stuff. Like anything with space. So my idea was this. Okay, is there's black holes, right?
Yes.
This is truth. I know some people are like they don't exist. Like we have 2 pictures of them, so shut up because they're totally a thing. So black holes, right? Now black holes, what are they? Is you have some that are not that massive. So you have some that are maybe like 5 or 10 times the mass of our sun, which sounds massive, but they're only like 10 kilometers across. They're very small objects, right? But they have an incredible amount of mass and therefore gravity, right? But then you have some black holes that are like enormous, like in mass and in size, okay? Some of them are in the tens of billions the mass of our sun, okay? Like Carl Sagan, billions and billions the mass, okay? So extremely massive, and in mass in terms of like the weights, let's call it, right? Yeah. And in terms of size, some of them will be multiple times the orbit of Sun to Pluto. So imagine that, like 3 times from Sun to Pluto. It's like crazy, right? Yeah. Now, in the early universe, right, there was a lot more going on, a lot more gas, a lot more condensed and whatever. So these black holes back then were accreting a lot of material. They have a lot of gravity, right? So there's a lot of material and gas flowing around them, and it gets closer and closer, and the closer it gets, the faster it spins. Kind of like how Mercury orbits the sun at a closer, but let's say Earth a bit further, and Pluto, oh my God, it takes like 400 years to do a turn. I think it's like 300 or something. But anyways, so there's some black holes that there's so much material that's falling into them that this material is because of the friction that it's rubbing against every other particle next to it. It's there's fusion happening, which happens for us. It happens at the center of our sun. Like we're like, wow, the sun has fusion. Okay, imagine fusion happening on an accreting disk around a black hole. Okay, a massive, like a crazy massive black hole. All right. It's so much light, there is so much power emanating from these objects that we see them tens of billions of light years away. Okay, so they are essentially the lighthouses of the universe, all right? We call them quasars. Okay, they're called quasars. So a quasar is a supermassive black hole that's in the process of absorbing and eating an incredible amount. Like, I mean, millions to billions the mass of the sun in gas in that moment, right? Wow. So how do I relate that back to fitness, right? Like, what's the relation? Well, most people, when they want to lose fat or when they need help in their health, they're alone. They feel like a black hole. They're like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I need help. Like, I'm struggling. I'm a black hole. But once they're fed enough information, once they're fed enough help, they can shine to be their brightest self.
I love it.
Nice.
It's very nice,
very
actually.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's where the name Quasar comes from. And, at first I was kind of like, man, no one's going to care. No one's going to know what it is. And I'm like, you know what? It's me. I don't really care. Yeah. I'm going to do it for me. And I just want to help people. And it's Quasar Fitness.
It's very nice.
You know?
So
Very
it sounds very...
Exactly.
So-
oh my God.
so
You sell the merchandise as well? Because your shirt looks really awesome.
Oh, thank you. You know what? I've had a few clients ask me the same thing. And I had someone who was making, who helped me with these shirts. And his manufacturer was like not supplying the quality I wanted, so I'm like, I gotta find someone else, and I haven't yet. I gotta be honest, I haven't. Okay. But it is something I'm thinking of doing soon enough,
Sure.
Yeah. So technically, so a quasar, I mean, it's some people it's audio, but if you can see it, the accreting material is what's floating around, right? And it's so much power that what happens is not all of this material can fall in the black hole. So there's some type of energetic environment and event that happens where the North and South Pole emit jets. And that's what that is and that is.
Oh,
So cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations on that.
That's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Well thought out and yeah.
Oh my
awesome.
goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, how much time do we have? Because we have like
there's more questions. Lightning round.
Yeah, okay,
You know
so-
what? Who owns the show?
Me.
So
Okay, so I can do what I want. So imagine a client is discouraged during a training session. How do you keep that person motivated?
or during a podcast.
Okay, so the way I work is, like I told you guys earlier, is all my clients, I know them very close individually. Like I get close with them because we talk on a daily basis. So, I know some of their stressors, I know some of the issues. So there's not one thing. I get to know my client, and I talk to them in a way that I feel will connect to them. So I have some clients where I can be more of like a hard ass and be like, come on, like I know you can do this, and like just like, dude, you're a king. Like you got this, because nothing's gonna take you down. Like it doesn't matter that like you have to work an extra 2 weeks at your job and you're not at home for another 2 weeks. Like this is not gonna take you down. You are better than this, And like I made his day.
Good.
Like, he was like, I got this. Like I'm good. I don't care anymore that I'm working. I'm just have to stay an extra 2 weeks. He sleeps where he works in this case. And then I have another client where, people get demotivated. It's normal. It's part of the process. In fact, if you're demotivated, you're probably doing something right. You're probably you're probably like thinking about it good enough where you have that issue, right? So for some people, it's hey, like why did you come see me? Like why are you doing this for? Like well, let's talk about that and let's get a call. Like that's one of my services is like, you want to call with me? You tell me the day, and I'm gonna make myself available for you because you need that help.
Nice.
You need that support system, and I'm gonna be there. And sometimes it's like, you know what? Like I have my 2 boys. Like one is 17 and like one is 13, and I want to be there for them. Like I want to be able to go on a bike ride with my kids. That's why I'm doing this, and we'll kind of just touch on that and discuss
That's
like why
nice.
that's important, and be like, look, like this doesn't happen in like it doesn't happen in a month. It takes if you've been this heavy for 15 or 20 years, then you have to give yourself 2 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and 2 years if you're doing most of the things correctly. Sometimes it could take 5 years if it's not as efficient as it could be. But at least after those 5 years, it's going to be done or mostly done, and you can get to the point where you want to be, live the life you want to live. So how do I help motivate someone is you have to know them. You can't just give generic bullshit and like hope to motivate them. You got to understand the person.
That makes absolute sense.
It's all about connection. Like it's the older I get, the more I realize like just life's about connection. If you're not connecting with people, like you're probably really sad.
100%.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
You're probably just a sad person, and that sucks.
So what is your preferred style of encouragement?
The whip.
Honestly,
That's yours, Vanny.
I guess it's a mix of emotion and logic, because I think logic makes people realize that like regardless of their emotions, like they're still alive, and they're still going to be alive in 10 years, ideally, right?
Yeah.
We plan on being alive. So that alone, it's like, if I'm going to be alive in 10 years, and like if I don't do anything, then in 10 years I'm going to be where I'm at now. Wow, that sucks. Like I don't want to do that. So like logically speaking, let's just put in the effort and let's just get it done. Stop attributing emotion to everything you're doing, because then everything that's going to trigger you is going to just set you off.
Yeah.
You have to be resilient in life. You can't let any little thing bother you and bug you and cause you to explode. You're never going to make it.
Yeah.
So logic and being able to separate emotion from decision making is really important, but using emotion to enhance the reason why you're doing this in the first place.
Do you study a little bit of psychology as well? Because part of this whole game is psychology as well.
Yeah.
I believe anyway.
Yeah,
it is.
you're totally right. I mean, look, I'm gonna say no, but at the same time, I've had clients tell me like, you're like my psychologist.
Well, I was just about to say that because
Yeah.
you're very, very well versed in it.
Thank you.
And-
No, but I can't say that I study like.
Yeah.
Legal, like for legal reasons, I am not a psychologist.
No, you didn't-
I'm just a coach.
You
like,
didn't school, quote unquote, school study it,
Nah.
but you've studied people.
Yes.
Yeah,
And that's
like
part
just
of
from
it,
just
right?
from talking to people. Like I still train, but I used to train a lot more younger athletes. And these are kids. Like, how do you interact with kids? I know how to interact with them. You know what I mean? Like, I know how to get them motivated. I know how to get them thinking. Because you know what, kids, it's like, oh, you got to talk to them differently. No.
They don't
That's how you disassociate yourself from children, by saying, I'm the adult and you're the child. That's not how that works. So all the kids that train with myself, right? It's just I communicate to them in a way that they're not used to. They're like, oh shit, like I kind of wasn't expecting that, and they get all the work done. They get everything I want to do. It's all done.
Sierra, are you going for a train? No, she's actually quite good. But Steph is right when he's saying that there's a lot of psychology in it because,
there is.
I mean, not just the cognition behind it or the neuroscience behind it. There's a lot of in-depth emotion. It goes with a verbal, non-verbal, behavioral. They all are intertwined because everything links to that. You're transmitting information. You're hitting the cognition of the person. The cognition of the person, they develop that understanding and they develop a meaning behind it. When there is a meaning behind it, it translates into a behavior, into a personality. Well, the personality then it comes out into the behavior. So it is a chain. So if the person has that belief, the cognition, the acceptance of the information, and they translate the information to something that they understand, then that plays a part on their meaning behind it. The meaning behind it can go into their memory of how it was, how they grew up, right? So everything is implicated. It's all building blocks.
You're totally right.
And also everything starts from the mind. Like, you know, when we decide to do something, it starts from the mind. That's the moment in which we concretely take the decision to start a journey.
You know what's tricky though? What do you do when someone isn't thinking like straight? Because their life, like, they're so stressed that, like, they even know it. They're like, I can't do it. Like that's where shit gets a little more complicated.
Absolutely.
Because, like, you're totally right, but that's also based on the foundation that, like, the brain is consistent in its ability to think properly.
Yes.
And if someone is not thinking properly,
yes,
you have to get to the point of, like, just that stability of thought. And when you have stability of thought, then everything flows.
That's
the
mindset.
Stability is unfortunately takes some time to get to.
The right mindset.
Yeah, but the stability is very hard to get to because
a lot of it's nutrition related, just saying.
Exactly, because when they are deficient, right, it plays a disbalance within you, and it plays a disbalance within your brain. So, like you said, the serotonin and the dopamine, because I studied that when I studied abnormal psychology, and we were studying on serial killers, because that was where I was branching out towards, and it all plays a part. Everything plays a part. It plays a biological, plays with the food you eat, the people you hang around.
Yeah, for sure.
So it escalates.
Yeah.
So exactly, and even the nutrition, it's like a major factor.
Oh yeah, it's massive.
Because it can be detrimental to what you're not eating. You're not nourishing your brain, and that will cause you to not function correctly, whether it be mentally, physically, verbally, socially. On all levels. So and that concludes tonight's lesson.
And everything will be challenging just if it's not done. Like, that has to be done, like, initially.
I feel I'm back in university. This is crazy.
Is there one more we can squeeze in?
Oh, I'm squeezing one in. What is one piece of advice you would give your younger self?
That's nice.
Look, number one,
he's 29.
Bitcoin to 50K.
Yeah, exactly. So
yes, but he was a younger self once.
Yeah, it doesn't count. It doesn't count.
Okay, how young? For me, like, what mattered most was, like, that
19,
that's it, exactly. Like, that crucial age is just trust the instinct of, like, look, I finished my marketing degree, but, like, halfway through I was like, I didn't feel it. And I'm not saying don't go school, kids and all that, but you don't, it's not that you don't have to, but there's more to life than just the school route, and you close your eyes and you get a 9 to 5.
You're not listening to this.
Because you're probably not realizing that, like, you think that's how you should do things, but you're probably gonna be depressed by 30.
Yeah.
And
well, what I always tell my kids, and I'm pretty sure it's where you're headed with this, is it doesn't have to be through schooling, but whatever it is has to be something you enjoy.
Yeah.
But educate.
Yeah, you gotta educate.
Even if it's a carpenter, you just gotta know, have the right tools to be that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is what's important. It doesn't have to be the school, university, but as long as what you do, you take passion like you did.
How about this? Like, what if we explain it this way? Why someone is valuable is because they have there's a discrepancy between what you know and what they know, and, like, they're charging you for that discrepancy. The larger they can make that discrepancy, like, technically the larger they can, the more ideal clients that they can reach, right?
Yeah.
Which is why there are, I don't know, thousands of crappy trainers in gyms that don't really know what they're doing. And, like, that, that's fine for most people if that's what they want to just go to the gym and do, like, a whatever training. But from what I see, is a lot of people need a lot of help, and you can't get a lot of help from those who don't put that investment into themselves to understand the human body, which, by the way, is the most complex thing we know about in the universe. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Just saying. You know,
Yeah.
But
getting jacked is not a prerequisite for being a trainer. It's just a thing you could do to be one, but it doesn't mean you're ready.
Gotcha.
I find that a lot of people take shortcuts in life, and they take the shortcut to get to the end game rather than just understanding the full course of what is required to get there.
Yeah.
And they consider themselves accomplished. I'm not saying that they're not accomplished. I'm just saying they give you half of that information, not the full 360 scope. So if that's the sense that you're sort of walking in and you're feeling sluggish and you're not feeling well, you're relying on these people. I myself would be relying on you to sort of help me better myself in that sense physically, because it's all intertwined. Right. And if you feel sluggish in one, it's like a dominoes. You're going to feel sluggish in all of them. Right. You can't feel fantastic physically, but mentally you just want to hit a wall. Right.
Latins used to say, no, mens sana in corpore sano, which means mind that is healthy in a healthy body. So it cannot be one of or the other.
Yeah.
Like the two intertwine together, they merge together. So
Yeah, and they increase slowly together. It's not that one will
Exactly.
Usually it's like a little push and shove.
But
for
also
both of them.
because if you acknowledge what does it means to be healthy, of course you're gonna take care of yourself. So it clearly goes together.
Yeah.
So
you have to, like, let's be honest, right? None of this is important to the person who doesn't enjoy life and wants to die.
Yeah.
And
No,
there are
for
people that are like that. Like
Yeah.
it's people like, I don't care. Like I barely have any money saved up. I live in a shitty apartment. Like there's people in the world that are like living terribly, and like for them, like they don't even care about their health. They're like, man, if I die tomorrow, probably a good thing.
So the thing is, most of the time they last forever.
Exactly.
It drives me crazy.
Oh man, that's you know.
But part of it is
Yeah.
like what you said, because they're not stressed, because they really don't care.
Yeah.
So zero stress.
That's it.
which
I don't know what that
sometimes-
feels like. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
no,
that
I
feels like.
I want to
have
enjoy
no
life for
idea.
sure.
No, of
so
course.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's not
But I
me.
believe that physical activity is also a way of releasing stress. Like
Oh, yeah.
How much
to,
does sex help? I mean, I'm just.
Yeah,
But
look,
this
is
too,
it
it's
important?
still
Yeah, for
physical
sure.
activity. So I mean,
No, I mean for physical, like for.
Okay, the whole like calories burned during sex like doesn't make any sense.
No,
by
for
way.
the dopamine and the serotonin.
Yeah, like I mean, just for the fact of like, you want to talk about hormones, like, you know, being close with your partner is really important just for that aspect alone. Like, it'll calm you down. Like, it could even be cuddling. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's important, but it's.
No, I'm talking about the sex. No, I'm
it's
joking.
really talking.
You are.
Stefan.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Olivia, basta.
Well, we actually reached the very, very end, and we even bypassed some time.
Oh, no.
Quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah, but I want to get at least two questions
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
Let's do at least two of them.
Okay,
Alright,
the first two.
Is it a lightning round?
Lightning round.
Yeah.
Yes, but
It's
you're not gonna get
called-
the same questions like we are.
Oh,
It's called
okay.
rapid response.
Rapid response. Rapid response.
Which we technically eventually laugh at, and it doesn't end up rapid response.
We got
anymore.
Sierra here on the mic.
Hello.
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 Okay, so the first question's for Lisa. Name 3 things that are funny.
Me in the morning. What's funny? I see. Look at that. I can't even think about what's funny because I laugh all the time. What's funny? Comedy shows. See, I already lost. So it's already lost. Zero.
It's not easy. Yeah?
It's no. Okay.
no,
what
that's
are
rough.
3 things that you find funny?
Me?
I said
My dog sometimes.
Yeah.
Myself when I'm drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty
And another thing that I found funny, my dad. My dad is very funny.
Nice. Nice.
He's very
no.
funny. It's not
Ricardo?
a thing, but still.
Yeah.
Ricardo's next.
Oh, I got answer the same
This
one.
is for you.
Nope.
Different
No,
question?
different
Okay.
question.
All right. I
I
was
guess
like
otherwise
preparing.
you would be prepared.
Yeah.
Name 3 things you can't do in the dark.
You can't.
You can't do in the dark. You lost.
Can't even say sex because
because. Name 3 things I can't do in the dark. I can't. Oh my god, this is
It's
rough.
harder than you think. Eh?
I'm totally unprepared for this question.
That's
what
what
can
we
I do in the
wanted.
dark? I can't write a novel in the dark. I gotta see what I'm writing. Like, I mean, it's not funny, but I'm just trying to answer the question.
true.
It's very intense, by the way.
Yeah.
I can't cook in the dark. That would be dangerous and a fire hazard.
Yeah.
And I can't wave hello to someone in the dark because they won't see me
Shoot.
wave.
Oh, nice.
That's
Good
good
one.
answer.
Good one.
That's original and nice.
Yeah.
We got one more each.
Yeah.
Name 3 colors that start with P.
Me?
Yeah, Lisa and Francesca.
Okay, 3 colors that start with P.
3 corners.
Colors that start with P.
Ah.
And piss is not a color.
Purple. Pistachio.
Like pistachio green.
Peach. Peach?
Colors,
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah,
Now
that
that you
works.
took
Yeah.
those,
No,
good
that
luck,
works.
Francesca.
That works.
Oh, I got one. Very feminine.
You would.
Because it's in English. I'm thinking in Italian.
Okay, think in
Oh,
Italian. Go.
Okay, say
I
it.
can mix pink.
There you
yeah.
go.
Right.
That was what I was thinking about.
Why did
Prugna. Color prugna.
Yeah.
Pink prugna. Purple you said. I have no idea. Pompelmo.
Persimmon? Persimmon? No, that's not a color.
Pamplemousse. Color
Pamplemousse.
pamplemousse. I don't know.
So most of these answers were fruit.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean,
Okay, it works. It
That's
works.
funny.
Ricard? A question.
Yeah,
for
last
Ricard.
one.
no.
Last
Oh,
one.
no.
It's this one's an easy. You got an easy.
Oh,
one.
thank.
Name 3 ways to greet someone.
In the dark.
Oh my
No, I'm
God.
joking.
First one is yo.
Nice.
Bicep flex.
The COVID fist pump has got to be in there, right?
Oh,
That's
not bad. COVID fist bump. Oh,
sucks as
man.
shit, but whatever.
Has his own name.
Yeah.
There was one good one that you missed.
Which one?
Name 3 superpowers you wish you'd have.
No, one of them was name 3 Williams.
I read the same thing, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
I know, it's true. It's true. Name 3
William
Williams.
Shatner.
What is William?
Prince
Williams,
William,
they know.
Yeah.
and
Vanessa Williams.
Willem Dafoe, but it's not William. There's an I missing there,
Williams.
or an IA.
Yeah, we gotta go. We got Steph
okay.
telling us goodbye. So,
Yeah.
everybody, thanks so much for tuning in to this podcast. Which was I don't know about you, but I would love to have you back on because this
Yeah,
was like
it was
completely-
amazing.
We have to finish the rest of our
Yeah.
talk.
let's
we're
do it.
getting therapy, and we're gonna. How about every week? What about twice a week? You do podcasts
Yeah,
twice a
start
week.
charging.
We'll
What
come
is
to
that?
you. So, guys, thank you so much. I hope everybody is as well informed as we are at this very moment. I have to go home and empty out my pantry because I have a lot of bad things in there. I heard.
I was thinking the
I
same.
have a lot of bad food in there.
Hold on, we need to write where.
Yes.
There, go ahead.
And
Yeah,
also,
I just didn't want to forget that.
we need to know
Where to
people-
find him, so-
we can find him.
So before I say adieu, guys, I was getting to that, but
How can people
How can we
contact
find you, Ricardo? Where
Yeah,
can we find you?
Yeah, so I'm keeping it simple right now. You can look. My email is. You can email me at info@quasarfit.com. Okay.
Quasar.
Yeah, exactly.
QUASAR.
Fit, not fitness. Quasarfit.com. It's a little shorter. My phone number, you can even text me if you want to, or call me 514-560-5575, or just look at my Facebook. Like, it's my normal personal Facebook. I kind of use that as my normal business one. That way I kind of overlook all the whole business algorithms on Facebook. You post, if you post something on your Facebook group, forget it. No one's gonna see it unless you spend $100.
Yeah.
But if on your personal one, at least people get to see it. So just add me there. You'll see all of the other posts I do and some of the stuff I share and the thoughts that I have. And yeah, look forward to hearing from some of you for sure.
Awesome. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you want to check up Riccardo Simanella.
Simanella.
Simanella. I don't know. My brain is like neurologically like firing right now. So
It's the dopamine.
It's the dopamine. No, I need serotonin.
It's
Hard.
also Quasar.
Or melatonin. Anyways, so guys, tune into this podcast because it is very, very informative. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we'll catch you the next time.
Thank you.
Bye,
Let's talk
guys.
it out. Bye.
Bye.